This will ensure continued peace, progress, and prosperity, and would be the recipe for a life in a paradise. The Western life is nothing but artificial. There is less human values. People are trying to seek satisfaction through material things. Despite wealth of materials and provision for easy life, there is still for us to live a blissful life where peace of mind is paramount. Look at the abuse of drugs, lack of faith in the institution of marriage, the AIDS scare, the mass destruction through wars, and declining trust in mankind. It is fortunate that Fiji is still not seriously affected by the ills of the Western world. I encourage the people of the developed...
You'll understand more about Fiji, and you'll also understand more about how we came about, the human being, how they appeared on the horizon. It will give you some ideas other than just Adam and Eve. So far the Western world only knows the history of 4,000 years, 5,000 or 6,000 years, and they go as far as Adam and Eve, how they were created by God. But besides that, humans were been living on earth for many millions of years. And how they evolved I'm trying to show them through the Indus Valley civilization that is the oldest one in the world. Oh, where are you taking my... Oh my gosh. So, hey, you erase it, man.
He's getting camera shy over here.
Yeah, well, I flunked 3 tests in India. I wanted to become a movie star. I flunked 3 tests. But anyway, going back to this book, Fiji Tapu, it's my intention to bring the 2 races of people together into a brotherhood, which is not happening, and it has not happened in the 125 years since the Indians came to this country. And I think it is because of the British, the way they poisoned our minds, both of us, that we are not united. This is one way of ruling a country, is you divide and rule, which was introduced by the British 500 years ago, which is still happening in Fiji. We are divided people. But we should remember that we are all human beings, and our race should be humanity, and our religion should be only love before anything else. So, idea, but give me that back when you get
Okay, ask him the question again, Catherine.
What question?
The book, ask him what this book is about. Or Fiji la tu pura dale fir ke bolo.
Fiji Tapu.
Yeah, ask him the question, Catherine.
Okay.
Why did I write that book? Are you gonna?
Yeah. Why did you write this book?
My intention is to bring the 2 races together into the matrimony, into togetherness, so they can become one people. And they should know that they are one people. Because in my book, I have mentioned they came from Malaysia. And before they came into Malaysia, they came from India into Malaysia and then traveled towards all the islands of Fiji. And this happened a long time ago, not only 5,000 years ago. This happened when the sea level have gone down 250 feet, 230 feet. This is when it happened.
On the first page you say that the abuse of drugs, lack of faith...
Oh, no. I wanted to say about the part where British divided the Indians and then why we are speaking.
Oh, there is a reason why we are not separate, why we are not together is because they had...
I think he's talking about that one.
Wait, let me see.
This part. The mass destruction through wars and declining trust in mankind.
This is happening in the Western world. This is not happening in the Fiji. It is fortunate that Fiji is still not seriously affected by ills of the Western world. These are the ills of the Western world. Drug abuse and everything. We Fijian, we don't have that thing yet. But as it is now, so no, Hey, don't record right now.
उसके देख के तुम बताओ why we are still divided.
We are divided is because
Start करो.
it was
फिर से start करो. We are divided because.
we are in Fiji. I think we are divided in Fiji is because how British arranged it. They divided us and they told us to keep it separated for our cultural on our cultural basis, but that also divided us. Now we can't get together as a brotherhood into a brotherhood, and that is causing a big problem. And then the religion-based conflict has also torn us apart. Most Fijians are Christians, and we have Hindus and Islam here, and they are all separated. They all are they think superiority over their religion, and so this is not making us come together. In order to country to prosper, we have to think in one way, into a brotherhood way, and love each other as brothers, because our race is humanity. We all know that, and our religion should be love, nothing else.
फिर से वाला line repeat करो. Our race is humanity.
What is it?
वाला अभी line वाला फिर से बोलो उसके देख के. हिलो नहीं. उसके देख के बोलो line. हमें नहीं देखो. बोलो.
Bula.
Our race is.
Our race
is humanity. We are all human beings, and our religion should be love. We should have love and compassion for each other. This can bring unity among any races of people in the world, especially in Fiji. When there are Fijians, Indians here, we can have unity if we think in that term. But as long as we are divided because of the religion-based conflicts, we're not going to ever get united. And if we don't, we cannot make Fiji a shining star in the Pacific. It will be a dwindling star.
उसके देखो, उसके देखते रहो. बोलते जाओ, उनकी मन में बोलते जाओ.
And I'm very glad that I got Sunil Bhan here, who's trying to promote Fiji.
थोड़ा left हो. थोड़ा उस side हो ना दो, इस side. हाँ बस, right. अब उसके देख के बोलो. Book के बारे में बात करो अपन.
Oh, yes. So this is why I wrote the book Fiji Tapu, and I've been giving it free to people, thinking that people will read and will know where they came from, where all of us come from the Indus Valley civilization that is mentioned in our Vedas. We have 4 Vedas, which is man's oldest book of mankind. And it's very old. It's not 6,000 years old like Adam and Eve and Moses. It's very old, very, very old. And civilization started there in that Indus Valley. That Indus Valley area, which we can see today as Himalayas, was still is 500 miles wide and 2,200 miles long. That was all underwater, and they called it Sheer Sagar. Means Sheer Sagar means clear, sweet water lake.
Wait करो, move on करो. हिलना नहीं. Move बचो.
Oh, you can. You mean you can?
हिलना नहीं. Move बचो.
You can. Oh man.
Okay.
tough
फिर
work.
से बोलो.
Hey, you didn't give me a chance, man.
हिलना नहीं.
Where's the makeup people?
Hold on.
Man.
Really good to miss. 500 feet wide.
Yeah. The Indus Valley area is about 500 miles wide and 2,200 miles long, which was underwater many years ago. 26,000 years ago it was underwater.
Himalayas.
And it was called Sheer Sagar, Sweet Water Lake. That's where our Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh evolved from God, directly from God. Later, the plates movement in the Pacific, it started moving, and the lake disappeared, and the mountains and the hill came in its place. And this is what called the Himalaya mountains now. But it was all under water before. There appeared the three trinities called Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Brahma had 4 heads, and he was very light-skinned people, white man. Vishnu, dark colored, bluish color, had 4 arms, and Shiva had 3 eyes. He was dark colored. He had 3 eyes, one in the center of the forehead. With that eyes, he was able to destroy anything that came along the way. He could destroy that. He had atomic eye, like atomic power eyes. It is mentioned in the Vedas like that. And so these 3 in 10 made the universe. They created the human beings, all the life and everything from Vishnu's umbilical cord. Vishnu supplied him with all kinds of material to create things. This is what's mentioned in the Vedas.
What about talking about love and destruction?
There's always love and destruction of the world or human being?
Both.
Okay. There's always love. You have to have love. Without love, nothing can exist. And we also have to have destruction, because the whole world is changing every day. Today you see mountains, tomorrow it will be valley, and then today where you see rivers, 100 years, 200 years later it will dry up, become something else. So everything is changing every day. Today we are babies, and then we grow into youth and old, and you don't see how we change, but we do change. So changes is taking every second. That is why they say this whole world is Maya, illusion, because whatever you see today will not be there 100 years from today. The Maya word is illusion, I think. But when you talk about...
So what did the British do? फिर से बोलो British.
Oh, when British...
बोलो हम लोग के यहाँ पर रह के डिवाइड करीस, रूल करीस, जाए के जुन्ना चलाएंगे, वही चीज अभी फिजी में हम लोग डिवाइडेड है और सेपरेटेड है, रूल करे, वो अलाइन दिन फेस में बोले रहा, वो अलाइन.
Oh, you know, why we are divided in Fiji today is because it was a way of British to rule. Divide and rule was a British way, introduced by the British in India several hundred years ago, maybe 300-400 years ago. And this is the only way you can control the masses of people, divide them. And that is why we are still divided in Fiji. When they came here, they divided us, telling us that people are Indians and you don't have to mix with the Fijians. And so the Fijians stayed by themselves in the villages. Indians were busy in growing sugarcane, rice, and working for the British. So they never got united actually. So the brotherhood didn't come into. And today we are having the same problem because we are still divided, and one calls them indigenous Fijians and the other calls them ethnic Indians. And even on the Fiji passport, when we enter here, we have to tell them that we are Indians. Our grandmother was born here, our mother was born here, and we have been born here 3 generations, and we still call ourselves Indians. I don't see that we are Indians. We are born here. So we should be Fijians. Like anyone born in America is called Americans. On our passport we don't say Indian. No, we are Americans. So that's how we should be in Fiji. These little things like this is still dividing us. Fijians think they are Fijians and Indians think they are Indians, and we are getting nowhere. Actually, this division has been created by the British, I think. And beside that, the religion-based conflicts is separating us further and has torn us apart into groups and small families. Even two brothers are not united.
Religion
I know it's a religion-based conflict that has divided us. Even two brothers out of the same family, one takes up Christianity because he's been influenced by the ministers that Christian religion is better than Hindu. He has taken Christianity, and now he looks down on the Hindus because the Hindus pray to the idols. We do pray to idols, and so we are known as pagans and heathens, and that is how the problem started in Christian world. Pagans and heathens were looked down and they were slaughtered. But in today we don't go out and kill people, but we do dislike them because they worship idol. I don't see anything wrong with idols, because sun is also an idol, and we Hindus pray to sun, and we pray to water, we pray to the river as mother, and we call cow or our mother Gau Mata, because we are able to live by cow's milk. If the mother dies and the baby has to survive, we go to cow for the milk to survive. So we call them Gau Mata or Ganga Mata. We call river Mata, means mother. So these are all like idols, and we still worship idol. I don't see anything wrong there.
Yeah, it seems like everyone worships idols.
You can see churches all around the country with Trinity, this and that, statue of Jesus, and Kaaba, the stone in Arabia, someplace where they go make rounds around it and they kiss that. So we have some kind of statues, and they're all God's created. Even the stones are created by God. And we Hindus see God in everything. We see God in pig. We see God in cow. We see God in snake. And so we see God in everything. Because everything has Atma, soul, everything. Without soul, nothing can exist. Without atom, there is nothing exists in this world. Atom is atom.
The atom? Like the proton, neutron, and...
Oh yeah, atom according to English has got three parts. Atom has a neutron, proton and electron. And Hindi, in atom we have Rajas, Tamas and Satas. So it's the same thing. But we have refined it, some of us have refined it and call it their own way. But all started from atom. An atom cannot be killed, dried. Gita explains very thoroughly. Krishna talks about this Atma very thoroughly. I don't think any other book has mentioned so much as Krishna has done in Gita. I read a lot nowadays and I try to understand, but then it's I'm not very educated, so I can't explain everything.
You have intuition like no other, though.
Pardon?
Intuition, insight.
Yeah. Well, some of my very good friends, some of the prominent people, some of the ministers have told me that I have a sixth sense. I came to Fiji and built this, and I wrote this book, and the way I think, they have told me that there's something else that I have, that I can think deeper. And I think it's a sixth sense that I get it once in a while only, maybe fraction of the minute. I get it and I put it in a book, and that's why I'm able to do that.
I don't think you should say you aren't educated because...
Well, when I was in Fiji, I was not very educated. Maybe God didn't want me to go to school.
So, but you have education within yourself. So.
Yes, and I'm very happy that I'm full of compassion. Everyone is my brother. And you asked me a while ago, why not sisterhood? People never use sisterhood. We always say brotherhood. Brotherhood, we never say womankind. We say mankind.
I feel left out when people say that.
Yeah, your ego makes you leave out. When we say mankind, you are included, because without a mother, there is nothing can exist. So without you, we cannot exist. How can you be left out? Huh?
I just feel left out when
You want to call it sisterhood?
No, I want to call it humanhood or humanityhood or.
Well, like I say, our race.
Brotherhood and sisterhood.
Well, you want to break it down into pieces, then you'll be dividing that into many groups again.
I want to be included.
We are humans.
Human.
Yeah, our race is humanity.
Yeah.
But for many years we've been saying mankind. So it's hard to put womankind. Mankind, woman come under that. Because without woman, nothing can exist. And after woman, nothing will exist. If you take all the women right now, get rid of them, how long you think the human race will last? Nothing. 100 years, 200 years, 200 years finished, they will be all gone. So we really need mothers. And what kind of mothers we need? Nowadays we have mothers that are loveless mothers, ruthless mothers. We can't have that. We have mothers full of love, full of compassion, and then we can give it to our children that are being born out of them. And if a mother is not a capable mother, doesn't have any good values in her, how can she give it to the children that she is going to bear? It's very hard. You have to have nice things first.
Wait. Mungpocho?
Yeah.
Recode the whole line again, that's using the right word to express the meaning. Please repeat the line, bolo.
What line?
You can use better words, better choice of words.
Better choice. He thinks I'm educated. What line you want to know?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah,
What kind of woman we need?
Okay. You want me to say, or you want to hear sisterhood or right? Womanhood. No, you are included. A woman is included when we talk about mankind, because without a mother, without woman, nothing can exist. You take woman away from any society, and how long can the society exist? Within 200 years, they will be all gone. Nothing will be born. So we do need mothers. And mothers of such standard, such high quality standard, they should have compassion, they should be full of love, full of forgiveness, full of kindness and humble, minus ego, arrogant. They should minus all these things. Just become absolute divine mothers. And when they produce children, their children will be very high grade people. They will be full of divine qualities in them. They will be like Jesus. They will be like Krishna. They will be like Rama. But first we have to have mothers like that. It's very important what our mothers have today. If our mothers are on drugs and our mothers are not doesn't know how to take care of the husband or clean the house, doesn't know how to take care of the children, then the children will be picking wrong habits. They won't go to school and pick up the right knowledge. So our mothers needs to be improved first.